Yo YouTube, welcome back to week 5 of the top players of the week. If you don't know, this series is going to highlight the best player performances of the week. I want to show love to the guys as much as I can, and I feel like this is a great way to do so, but I also want to keep it real and highlight some guys who are struggling. The series is uploaded every Monday, and the stats during the previous week are going to cover Monday through Sunday. Now let's get right into the best players of the week statistically. But before I dive into the top performers of the week, you know how to guarantee that you are a top performer? By subscribing to my channel. We're getting close to 100 subs, and that would be an amazing accomplishment to hit. Consider subscribing if you like this video. It is free after all. Steph Curry led last week with 123 total points in 4 games, averaging 30.8 points a game for the week. Devin Booker was second, just 2 points behind Steph, and well ahead of 3 through 6. SGA was third with 94, and Luka, Kelly Oubre, and Franz Wagner all had 90 points. But if we look at the most points per game this week, it was actually DeMar DeRozan who averaged 34.5. He just didn't have enough games played to reach total points. Second on this list at 34 points a game is Anthony Davis, followed by Embiid at 32, SGA at 31.3, and Steph at 30.8. These guys were absolutely cooking this week. Steph Curry continued his dominant week by leading this week with assists with 36 total. Second place is Tyrese Halliburton with 33. Trae Young had 30, and Damian Lillard, Draymond Green, and Jalen Suggs all had 29. If we look at assists per game, we could see that just like last week, Tyrese Halliburton led the league in assists per game this week at 11. But he wasn't alone, as Russell Westbrook also averaged exactly 11. Trae Young averaged 10, Damian Lillard averaged 9.7, and Steph Curry averaged 9 a game. These guys know how to find an open teammate. Zubac led this week in total rebounds with 43. Bol Bol had 42, DeAndre Ayton had 40, and Poeltl and Evan Mobley rounded out the top 5 with 39 and 35 respectively. A player who wasn't in the top 5 in total boards dominated this week in rebounds per game, and that was Anthony Davis averaging 17 over 2 games. Vucevic trailed him averaging 13 a game, and then you have Evan Mobley in third with 11.7, and Giannis and Kristaps both with 11.3. No surprise to see all these big men dominating this category. Bol Bol and Pokusevski led this week in total blocks with 9. Kristaps Porzingis, Miles Turner, and Jaren Jackson all had 8 blocks around the top 5. Jaren Jackson in 2 games averaged 4 blocks a game this week. Pokusevski averaged 3 blocks, and Porzingis and Miles Turner both averaged 2.7, slightly ahead of 5th place AD. Great numbers for these big men. I guess you could say that Kelly Oubre stole this category away from the rest of the competition because he was first with 12 total steals. Bradley Beal, Josh Hart, Emmanuel Quickley, Paul George, and Killian Hayes all had 7. And it's no surprise here that Oubre led in steals per game with 3. My guy, D'Anthony Melton, was second with 2.5 a game. Bradley Beal and Josh Hart had 2.3 a game. And I'm not going to read the entire list for everybody who had 2, but you can see it on the screen right here. It's time to be semi-negative. Now let's look at who had the most turnovers this week. Jalen Suggs led the week in turnovers with 18 total. Big Booty Kyle Lowry was second with 17. Sohan had 16, and Kyle Kuzma, Giannis, Paul George, and Jaylen Brown all had 15. Embiid led the week though with 5.5 turnovers a game. We have seen Embiid average a high amount of turnovers before, so I'm sure it's going to continue. Giannis, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, and Kyle Kuzma all had 5 a game. They're all great players, and I'm sure that they'll clean up the turnovers. Jeremy Sohan had the worst plus-minus this week of -73, and spoiler alert, it's a lot of Spurs on this list. And by a lot of Spurs, I mean it's all Spurs because they got blown out. Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Charles Bassey, and Doug McDermott rounded out the top 5 with a plus-minus negative of 71, 65, 61, and 60. This may be the only week where we see a team that had the worst 5 plus-minuses. My best player of the week is going to have to be Steph Curry. When you lead the week in points and assists and your team goes 3-1, I would say you definitely earned it. At the age of 34, Steph is averaging a very impressive 32.2 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 7.1 assists per game, while shooting 44% from 3. He's having an MVP season so far. I want to spotlight Cameron Payne this week. With CP3 hurt, Payne has helped limit the pain in the Valley by averaging 19, 6.5 assists, and 3.3 rebounds. He started the week off very cold, shooting 4 of 17, but he picked up the slack since then. The Suns went 2-2 this week, but without him playing at this level, it could have been a lot worse. It is nice to see Payne doing the best to help the Suns out while CP3 recovers from injury. My prediction for a player who might have a big week next week is D'Anthony Melton. Tobias Harris is questionable while Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, and Embiid are all out. Plenty of opportunity for him to step up. Thanks for watching if you made it this far, and leave a like if you enjoyed this video. I'll upload next week's video on Monday as scheduled. I'll see you guys then.